happy. Thank you for even giving us an opportunity to come and just get an interview with you. Yeah. So
you find yourself at some point you are there. It's a lonely journey.
It is.
You are there on your own. You can't relate with someone. So I think it's high time we share.
Hi everyone, how are you? I hope you're fine, and today we are privileged to be here with you. And as we promised you last week, is that we're gonna be coming near you, and today we are honored and privileged to be at Mrs. Kioli home, and she has a beautiful testimony that she wants to share with us. I asked you guys last time that we need to share, we need to encourage people, we need to be ambassadors, we need to talk it out, because if we don't talk it out, somebody else out there will not be able to come out and get this information. Mrs. Kioli.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good to see you.
Asante sana.
You have a beautiful home.
Thank you.
How is everything?
So far so good. We thank God that far we've come.
Yes. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I hope you're so excited with the year like I am.
I am excited.
Yes.
Yeah, and hoping and praying for another blessing.
Yes.
This coming year.
This year or 2024?
2022 is still young. The year is still young.
Oh, the year is still young.
Yes.
So today we are here. I would want you to just introduce yourself to my viewers.
My name is Theresa, Miano. I'm married to John Kioli. And I got married in 2015. And after the marriage, the wedding, we decided let's give ourselves 1 year. So we did give ourselves 1 year. So I started trying for baby in 2017.
Yeah.
So in 2017, towards the end of the year, I realized I'm not getting pregnant. So I decided to go and visit my gynecologist at that time. He sent me for HSG and pelvic scan.
Yeah.
So for the test, I told my hubby, please accompany me. So we went. Some clinic at Upper Hill.
Yeah.
So we went there. We did first we started the pelvic scan. And during the pelvic scan, the attendant who was doing the scan sent for someone else to come and assist her to look at the scan. So that's the time I started feeling
something wrong.
Something is wrong.
Because they saw something?
Yeah. So I tried to ask her, what is it you're seeing? She's like, just give us a few minutes. So I'm like, okay. So after they did the scan, now I went to do the HSG scan. And the pain was unbearable. Yeah. So I remember my hubby telling me he even at some point passed out. Yes. I had passed out.
Yes, because of the pain.
Yes, because of the pain. Even after being given medication. But someone had actually told me that it's advisable to take medication. But I was like, I don't think I need it. So after the scan, I asked him, what do you think? He was hesitant to tell me about the results. I was like, okay, fine. So they gave me the results. Since it was a beginning of the weekend, so I have to see the doctor up to Monday.
Monday. They didn't tell you how the results were?
They refused to tell me. So I was like, okay. So I'm very curious. So I decided to do Google, those medical terms and check what's this.
So you decided to read the report for yourself?
I was very curious because these guys had put me on suspense.
This is Cecelia, another Cecelia.
So I decided let me Google. So I saw occlusion. I was like, doesn't sound good. So that weekend we passed, still thinking about the results. Monday I went alone. Went back to my gynecologist. And after giving the results, the minute I saw his expression, I knew something is not okay. He read the report, looked at the scans, he nodded his head like this, and I was like, okay, so what is the problem? He told me, I can see your fallopian tubes are blocked.
Both of them.
Both of them. But by then I could not really fathom and digest what I'm being told.
Sure.
I think I zoned out at some point because him telling me now the only option here is surgery. There are two options for you, surgery or IVF.
Sure.
And he told me he would not recommend surgery, so just go straight to IVF. I couldn't fathom that. I couldn't. I really didn't understand what had been told at that time. So I went. I don't know even how I drove home, but I remember I passed through the church, and I just cried and cried. I wasn't able to even get out of the car. I just cried and cried and cried because I can't remember calling my hubby. I can't remember having that conversation, but I remember
you just felt like you wanted to go through it alone because you don't want to share it. It's just why is this happening?
Yeah, like why me? Why this? Like why? No, why is it happening to me? And I didn't know how to move forward. You know, even when you're told it's the other option is IVF, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm able to afford that. We will come up with the funds to afford the process. So I remember when I called my mom, I called my sister, and they told me, you know what, just let's seek other opinions. And I remember after that conversation, I just got out of the car, went straight to the chapel, and I just prayed. I told God, you know, as in whatever this is you brought, I hope I overcome it. Yeah. So so before we actually went even the idea of IVF, we started. I saw other opinions, second opinions. Others said tuboplasty. We tried tuboplasty, but in the process of seeing so many doctors and actually weigh your options, because I tried Chinese medicine. I tried acupuncture.
Did you try that Chinese? I tried the one that is at Integrity.
No, the one I used to go to was at Nairobi Women's Hospital.
Nairobi.
It's
Nairobi Women.
Chinese doctor there.
Okay.
And I came to realize that even those that the medicine and it's not cheap.
It's not.
It's still a lot of money, and I was so shocked. You can easily spend like 300,000 just like that on that whole. So so I tried, but I didn't really used to finish those medications and all that. The herbal. At some point, I'll just give up and stop.
Yeah, because I think there's this thing about infertility. You want like magic.
Yes.
If I take this medicine, I want to get that baby there and then.
Yes.
So if it doesn't work in a month, you're like, let me just leave it and then you go.
Yes.
So, you know.
Yeah. So I went also to another doctor. He tried other medications also for it's called stimulating the ovaries and something of the sort. But you see, now I came to realize
how they're stimulating the ovaries
and the main issue,
you know.
So they were just it's just wasting of. I just felt like I wasted time and money during that process. So eventually the doctor told me, no, let's go laparoscopy. But I wasn't happy with the doctor at that time because I felt. You see, if I ask you a question, what is your game plan with me? You need to answer me.
Yeah,
tell me,
these are the plans.
this is the plan, ABC. But we're not able to be in that terms, then I'm not confident with you. So, when you said we go for laparoscopy, I was like, let me go think about it. But now I decided, let me not go. IVF free. So by then, at least with that process, that was in 2018. I decided, towards the end of 2018, I decided, now let's try laparoscopy. And at that time, we had already done enough. We had saved, at least. We had saved for that process. Though, to be honest, you don't really get to know the how much you'll spend.
Yes.
Until when you're already in it.
Very true. And you can't turn back.
You can't turn back. There's no turning back.
There's no turning back.
There's
Once you start, you start.
That's it.
And there's so many hidden charges that
you don't know. Yes, exactly. The additional costs, you just told, okay, this will cost you this and that. So you've already you've already invested and you can't pull back. And the process is point of no return. So we started. I did first. I was taken through the tests, and then.
Now you're doing IVF or you're doing
IVF?
IVF.
Yes.
Okay.
Surgery was not on my mind at that time because I was scared. First of all, when you hear the word surgery, I'm like, okay,
you're like, I don't want anything to do with anyone getting into my uterus.
No. So that was out of my mind at that time. So started the process of IVF. The process, like, did the tests, first hormonal test to check the tests, and then the doctor suggested they do hysteroscopy slash laparoscopy, depending with what they'll find. And it's unfortunate that you will meet doctors who are not familiar with fertility.
Yes.
So
like the IVF. So many
like
people, I've had so many people complain that they've gone to one doctor like for almost 10 years. Doing the same thing, repeating the same thing, and they will never refer them to go and do IVF procedure.
Yes.
Maybe because they don't know, or maybe they want the client to keep on coming.
Yes. Yes. So I think from that I decided let's just see a specialist to save time and to save money. You spend so much if you don't go to a specialist, and also be informed, get that right information. So when we started the IVF process, we did the hysteroscopy. The doctor said indeed the tubes were blocked. The flow was not, there was no flow. And it chose at that time not to do the laparoscopy. So I actually got to know after the surgery. It's like, I can say it's a procedure because she just wanted to see what's in the cavity, uterus cavity. So she saw everything is okay, beautiful uterus, she used the term is beautiful uterus. Like, okay, so I was hoping my uterus is okay, so IVF process should be easy. So the process will start 10 days of injection. I remember my boss, I say thank God to my boss. He'd give me time to go and then go to work, have the injections. They prefer to you go to the clinic and have the injections done.
Yeah, true.
So I did 10 days of the injections. And then now when they stimulate the ovary, then they harvest the ovaries.
You were done the transfer?
Yes.
They did the transfer.
Yes. So they put 2 embryos, and I was excited. I was like, there could be a possibility of twins. That time when you start the process, they don't tell you.
There's no negativity.
They don't tell you even about the putting 2 embryos. You're like, oh, okay. So they'll put 2 for chances, to increase chances. So yeah, I did the transfer, went for the 2-week wait, and I was so sure. I was like, this for me is going to be a smooth one. So after the 2-week wait, went back to the clinic, and they took the blood work. And I remember when the doctor called us into our office, the expression again.
You remember the first doctor who saw your HSG?
So I saw her expression and I knew, oh my God,
these are not good news.
This is not good news. So she told us, they didn't attach, or it didn't succeed. And I remember that one really hit me. I think more than
the HSG.
Yes, the HSG, being told the first time, that really hit me hard. I remember I also went into, I zoned out completely. I was in shock.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in shock. Also Happy was in shock because we went with Happy. I was in shock. I remember I was to go to work. I called my boss and was like, I can't make it.
Amazing.
Because he also knew I was going through that process as well. So when we went home, I couldn't believe it, because you say you've been told the uterus is good.
Yeah.
So it hit me. And good. Yeah, the embryos were good. They were good grades. The ones that
you did day 5 or you did day 3?
I did actually that. I was called to choose, which I did not expect. So deciding on which day to transfer, and to freeze. I made a decision just like it's day. Let me just go with day 3 because I don't want them to stay
For long.
For long. So I chose the day 3. So I was in shock. It took time to digest all that. So I was like, what next? So maybe I decided maybe it's the odds. Maybe my body was rejecting, following the understand when something is introduced into your body, you could reject. It's like, okay, let me go for the second transfer.
Just before we go to the second transfer, I wanted to know, they have come, they've removed your eggs, and they have, how many eggs did they remove?
At that time, I think they were around 9.
They were 9.
But 6 were good.
6 were good. After now, they fertilized, 6 were good.
Yeah,
okay.
6 were good. So
they transferred 2, they remained 4, so
yes.
you froze the 4.
Yes.
Okay. Now you decide now to come for the second. Just there. And now we go for break, and when we come back, we're going to hear what happened. Did she continue with part 2, or she decided to just stay? So stay tuned and let's see. Welcome back. And so what happened after we have done the transfer? We have gone into a place where we don't want to even know like what's gonna happen. You don't know if you're going to go for another repeat, or you just want to stay like that. So at that point, what did you decide?
Even though the first transfer was a shocker for me, I decided maybe let's try the second round. Maybe it's gonna work out.
That was after how long?
That was towards the end of 2018. I remember it was around December 2019, beginning of 2019, January, February. I decided to go for the second round. We did the second transfer. Did the 2-week wait again. That time I made sure I took leave. Let me rest. Maybe to try and increase the odds of it being successful. I tried, I watched YouTube, other ladies in the US who are going through the IVF process, what they would do differently, and ones who had succeeded in the IVF process, what they did differently. I was hoping it had worked, though you can only tell when you go for the test, the blood test. So I went to did the blood work, waited again.
Now this is the second round. We did the second transfer. They transferred how many?
2 again.
2 again.
Yes.
So the remainder 2. Yes. You froze the 2. Yes. The balance of 2.
Yes.
Okay. So they've transferred. You waited.
I waited. And then the doctor called us again in the office, and I saw her face again, and I knew, oh God. But this time around I was prepared. I had told myself it can fail. Yeah. So when she told us again that it didn't succeed, this time around I was like, okay. It had
You didn't crash like
I didn't crash like the first time. I didn't crash. I remember that after that we had gone with my hubby, so we went to somewhere. We just had lunch. Nothing much. We didn't break down like the first time, because the first time really. And I remember both my moms had come to visit us the first time.
To just get the news.
Yeah. So I had already digested it, like, okay, it didn't work out. So what next?
Yes. So what was next?
So something in me told me the third one, if I went for the third one, it will still fail. It will still fail. And I now thought of, there's something like laparoscopy. Let me research into it. So YouTube, Google, and that is how I came across your video. The first time I saw, and I was like, oh my God, there's someone who has the same thing like me, someone who had also blocked tubes, and I was like, oh my God, this is hope. So I watched your video and I was like, let me be encouraged. So I checked on the procedure and the process, how it is. Is it very invasive? What about it? You know, how is the healing process and all that? So I tried to understand. I looked at the YouTube videos, and I was like, okay, now let's look for a doctor.
Yeah.
Google. So I googled for doctors, surgeons, the laparoscopy surgeons, and I came across Professor Rafik Parker's profile. I saw the profile, I read what he had done, his accomplishments, and I was happy. I was really happy, and I was like, okay, let me now book for an appointment. And but by then, I did a presentation to my hubby. You know, he'd been there supporting me throughout this journey. So I was like, in the evening, I told my hubby, oh, I've come across this doctor. I'm thinking our plan B is laparoscopy. I showed him a video. I told him this one has done. She managed, succeeded. So why not?
Yeah.
As supportive as he's always been, he's like, okay, I'll take it. So we went to see Professor Rafik Parker, and I carried all the tests I'd done throughout the years. There were so many, almost like like this. So he looked at them. He's like, okay, I recommend let's go have yourself checked out. I recommend the surgery. So he told me there's hope. As long as, one thing he told me is like, as long as you have a uterus,
that's the most important
that's
thing.
the most important thing. He was so encouraging. For the first time, I felt like I could trust and engage the doctor. And you know, you say, look at his age, and I was like, oh my God, I hope these are not the ones who, when you ask questions, they're like,
they don't want to be asked.
They don't want to be asked.
Yeah.
And he was the opposite, you know.
He wants you to ask more.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Parker.
Yeah.
It's just one person who's so different. He just wants you to understand.
Yes.
What is happening.
Yes. And he was so straightforward with me. I didn't feel like there was any information left out. And when we finished, he told me, so when are you ready? I was like, I'm ready even now.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, no, go think. I'm like, no,
I'm ready.
I'm ready. I have been through a lot, and right now as in it reached a point I was not confident to do let's have this. So we scheduled. Went for the test before the surgery.
Yeah.
And we scheduled the surgery for June. Was it May, June there? We did we scheduled for the surgery, and I went for the surgery. And I remember I was so anxious to know, after the surgery I was so anxious to know, did it work out, what happened, blah blah. And he told me, the first thing he told me was like, hi Theresa, how are you? You're successful. And I was so happy. I was like, oh my God, you managed to.
Let me tell you, that is the answer you want to hear when you come from the theater.
Yeah, I was so anxious I couldn't wait. I think when I woke up,
when he was doing the word strip, you just want to know what happened.
I just want to know. Yes. I asked my hubby, have you been told anything? He's like, no, I'm just also waiting.
Yeah.
So when he came in, he's like, yeah, it's been successful. For once, I felt like I had received something positive from the time I said from a doctor telling me, you know.
It was good. It was positive.
Yeah, it went well.
Yeah.
I was so happy, I was excited. I remember I was so excited. I was like,
that is the only thing you want to hear from a doctor.
Yes.
Was it? But I even asked myself, would they tell you it was not?
That's the thing. But somehow, when he said that, I believed him.
You did.
I did believe him. I was like, wow. I was so excited. I had hope. Like, you know, my vision towards holding a baby is
here.
It's here.
Started.
Yeah, it started. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after the surgery, I had to go for 1 week review.
Yeah.
And I remember after we've done the review, me and Happy bumped into you at the lift area, and like, I remember you were calling, Cecelia, hi! I was like, oh my God, I did the surgery. Yeah, I'm hoping for the best. And I remember you were so happy as well. And you know, it was such a coincidence. Like, oh, your video made me choose this direction.
Yeah.
So excited, and yeah, so went home. After the one month, I resumed back to work. I think after 3 months,
you start trying.
you start trying.
Yeah. So at this point, what were you thinking? After Daktari has told you, when you went back to the review, he told you that it was a success.
Yeah.
He told you that he was able to open and everything.
Yes. And actually, before I left the clinic on that day, they showed me what they had removed. They removed the fibroids. Yes, they removed 2 fibroids and endometriosis. I didn't even know I had endometriosis.
Imagine.
I didn't know. I had been told by the pelvic scans that showed I had the fibroids, but with the laparoscopy, I was able. Yes, it showed. They gave me a sample, and then they showed me. Oh, exactly. This is where this was allocated, because they gave me even a certificate. Yeah. A CD of the whole procedure. So I got to really understand where the issue was. You know, they had interfered with the tubes. Yes. And even the endometriosis had also
touched a bit of it.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that I finally got closure. And it's unfortunate that I even came across a doctor asking me, did you abort at some point? You see, misinformation. So it took me off, like, really, as in you're that fast to judge me. If I've come to you, I'll tell you as it is. So we don't waste each other's time. But the fact that you're insisting to find out whether I did an abortion, and then it hit me, I'm like, but I have friends who had, I know people who had done abortion and they got kids.
Yeah, they did.
So that is not the cause, and I was like, okay. So when they showed me, I was
and
happy.
It's so unfortunate at times when we go to doctors and they're telling us such things.
Yes.
And I tend to ask myself, if a doctor who's educated and knows what infertility is, what about the people out there?
Yes.
They will always misjudge you because of the myth and misconceptions that are here available in our country and also in Africa, maybe, you know. So we need to upgrade ourselves as doctors so that we learn more and get to understand our patients when they come to you. And also I would not say that they would approach you in such a manner, kuuliza kitu kama hiyo directly. You
first you're shocked, you even don't know what to ask. You're shocked, you're like, okay, did you just ask me that? After the IVF process, I really went into a spiral, like I can say, some sort of depression. And I remember Happy told me at some point, you know what, just seek advice, go see a counselor. We were to go together, but
because you could tell that you're not yourself.
I was not myself, because I had started drinking. On my off days. I would, chill in the house, like it's home office. So he would find me, I would wake up at night, in the middle of the night, just cry. Maybe I dreamt holding a baby, just to wake up and realize, oh my God, I just had a dream. Or you hear neighbors, baby crying, and you're just there like, oh my God, just cry. Every day was a constant torture, especially going to work. Torture, it was a reminder. And I realized same thing is it's the same experience with the men. Like my hubby told me that time he went to the office. He got a new car. He went to the office and he met a lady, someone they work in the office, a colleague. And he asked him, oh, I saw you got a new car. Sasa, just a guy sasa na watoto. And he came and told me that, and I really felt it, like, oh my God, as in they go through that. I felt for him. I was like, even men are thrown such careless
they do
comments.
So you stopped going to baby showers and you just concentrated on yourself and
I went, I saw a counselor, her name is Anne. She's at a money counseling center. I remember I went there. And she really encouraged me and told me, you know what, go for it, go for the surgery and all that. Just go for it. You never know. She actually helped me process, to have that thought process, because mentally you are
not prepared,
and
when somebody
you've been
puts
beat down.
sense,
You've been beat down, so you want someone who can really guide you
and push you now to the next level. You've been told that you need to wait for 3 months before you start trying to conceive. Did you wait for the 3 months, or you started doing it?
In fact, I remember when the doctor told me 3 months, I'm like, oh my god,
3
that
months?
long? Can I just get my cycle and
just start?
It's like, no, yours was extensive. Having removed those fibroids and endos, you just take time. But you told me 3 to 6 months is extensive.
So you went for a few scans before?
No, I didn't do any.
Nothing else?
Nothing else.
Okay. So you did not even repeat a HSG or anything?
No. But the following year, that was almost a year, we went and saw him. That was 2020.
So you stayed after you were told to stay for 6 months, you stayed for those 6 months, now you started trying to conceive?
I started trying after 3 months.
Okay.
Yes, I started trying after 3 months, up to almost a year. That was in February, we saw him in February. Around February, yeah. So we went and saw him, and he's like, doctor, not yet. So he's like, okay, come April. That was on Holy Saturday. No, I'm a Catholic, so I remember that day very well.
Yeah.
So I decided, let me just do. I had, but this whole journey, you have so many pregnancy tests in the house.
Oh yeah. You bought the kits, the pregnancy kits.
You have them in the house, like it's the whole, and over the months, when you get the negative, you get disappointed, you cry. So that April, that month, I said, let me just test.
Yeah.
So that time I had remained a digital one. Tested it. I had my hubby coming in, so I locked my bedroom.
Oh my.
So I tested.
Just there.
Yes.
Just before you tested, were there any signs or anything, or why did you feel like you needed to test? Had the period delayed or anything?
Actually, that day I tested is the day my period was supposed to come.
Oh, okay. But so you had not missed your period?
I had not missed my period.
So you do want to go even the following day, just in case they come and you had not tested? Yeah. That was me.
So I don't know, there was nothing different. The what is it called? The signs were the normal signs for when you're about to
getting your period.
To come.
Yeah.
So I had said I will not
zero
those
hope
things.
On that.
Yeah. But just something told me just go and
do.
Just after all, we'll buy others. We'll buy the tests. It's okay. We'll buy others. So I took that test, and when I saw the word pregnant, I was in shock. I was like, what is this?
This thing is not real.
Yeah, this is
because I used the digital one. Maybe I should go to the other one.
I was shocked. I was like, oh my god. And then it was busy calculating the weeks.
Really?
Yes. So I was in shock. I was like, oh my god. Okay, it's still calculating. It's not yet finished.
Yes.
So, and I saw that pregnant, and then it had it in 2 to 3 weeks. I was super excited. I can't even tell you how I moved from my bedroom to where my hubby was at the kitchen. He was talking to someone over the phone, and I remember I held that pregnancy test like this. I waved at him. I couldn't even talk. I just waved at him like, I remember he summarized the person who was speaking over the phone, and he's like, I'll call you back. I just showed him the test. He looked at it. He was also in shock. I cried this time. It was tears of joy. Tears of joy. I cried. He was in shock. He was like, let me go and get
another one.
Those tests, different. Let's try. This thing could, it's also not like, no, like, let's go get them. Different others. So he got, and indeed, that was positive. And I remember I took the phone, I called Professor Rafik.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, doctor, I did a pregnancy test, home pregnancy test, and I'm positive, I'm pregnant. He was so excited, like, congratulations! Yeah, celebrate! Yeah, champagne, you know?
Yes.
So, yeah, so exciting, so exciting. I was over the moon. I remember we called our folks, my sister, they all were happy, they cried, you know.
And this is happening at that time. You're
Yes.
calling everyone.
Yes.
You want the whole world to know.
First of all, I didn't want, because you see, it was too soon, you know, but the ones who were
You
there
wanted
with
to
me,
joy that
yeah,
you wanted to share the joy.
yeah, with the ones who were there with me every step of the way to know. So I remember he told me, fine, go do the blood work, go do the HCG,
Beta HCG.
yes, and the pelvic scan. So I did, and indeed it showed I was positive. I was so excited. I was positive.
They could see a sac.
They could see a sac, yes.
Wow.
And I think that time he sent me early. I was 4 weeks. By that time he was telling me to go and do it. I think he was. I thought maybe he was just taking precautions. Let it not be another. Let it not be an ectopic pregnancy.
Yeah, true.
So and the guy did the scan, like, looks good. Yeah. So Theresa, I was so excited, so happy. I couldn't believe it.
Wow, that is nice. I can imagine the feeling and the people who were like next to you, the people who were supporting you, how excited they were, and maybe those people who were talking bad about you, how they felt. Did you have anyone when you were struggling with infertility who ever talked to you badly about your situation?
You hear comments, because it's unfortunate when maybe you disclose something to someone, they go share it. It's more of gossip, entertainment. No, and you get to hear what people are saying. Like, and that's why she took that long, because she can't take pregnant. She had to do IVF. So I remember when when the test was positive, I literally didn't sleep for 3 days. I was so excited I couldn't even sleep. I think they thought the fact that I didn't want to wake up from another dream, you know. So I was so happy. The process, Professor Rafik, we went through the journey together. The whole journey together.
Until delivery?
Until delivery.
Yeah. So now you go to the maternity.
Yes.
Did you enjoy your pregnancy? How was
did.
it? Just give me a
did.
brief
Oh my
of it.
God, I did. When I started showing, I think around 10 weeks.
10 weeks.
Yeah. But by then I was trying to hide it.
Yeah.
I think they say no, don't disclose, you know. And even after that process, you just want to keep things to yourself first.
Yeah.
So
until you feel you're safe.
Yes, until that they say until the heartbeat and all that. After the 8 weeks, then 7 weeks. So I started showing around 10 weeks, and I remember I got excited when I had to wear. I work at the airport. We wear uniform, yeah. So I remember the first time I wore my maternity dress. I was so excited, like, here I come. Like, I was so excited.
Who is that? You know, you wear and say, who is that? Who's not seen? Come and see.
Like, see, God has done for me. Like, you know, when that they say that you let God will shame them. Yeah, it's true.
It's very true.
It's true.
I agree.
The boss was so excited. You know. Yeah, as in, you could tell genuine, you know, genuine excitement for you. You could tell. Those who were like, they were just quiet, you know. But that was the best day ever. Like, here, my maternity dress, here, wearing one, you know. Yes.
So then your labor pain, what happened?
Since I had done that process for the fibroid and the laparoscopy, the doctor recommended I don't do.
You do
the CS.
The CS.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what you did. So you planned for your pregnancy, the dates and everything.
Yes. So doctor told me, like, do not wait, because I was due on 19th December. But doctor called me early and told me no. Actually, I remember I took leave in November. That time for the corona time. And I was like, you know what, I told my boss, let me just go home for 1 month prior, because now cases have started coming out, and I was like, I don't want this COVID to affect me,
and my baby,
and my precious baby. And the boss is like, okay, it's okay, I understand. No, you're so understanding.
Oh my goodness.
You're so understanding, like, you go ahead. So I did. Baby was scheduled for 5th
December.
Yes.
So that's when you got your baby.
That's when we got baby.
How did you feel when you saw your baby for the first time?
Actually,
what happened?
I think during the half process something went wrong somewhere, and I didn't respond well, so they had to. I had to sleep. Yeah. I had to sleep. So when I woke up, it's the first thing like this baby. But I'd seen the baby. I remember when the baby came out. I remember doctor saying, "Show the baby," and the nurse had to go rush to the pediatrician because I think he wasn't crying. I saw the first thing I saw was his bum. That's the only thing I saw. But I was like, oh my God.
At least I saw my baby.
Yeah, and when after some time I heard him cry, I was like, oh my God. He's finally here. Yeah, he's finally here. I was so excited.
That's good. The joy of just having this precious baby.
Yeah.
And when you were there and you're on the ward and you're having your baby, how was the feeling?
I was so excited. I couldn't believe. I kept looking at him. My head was so excited. You know, like we're finally parents. Like, this journey has come to an end.
I know you'll tell everyone. Nenda pana mama hospitali.
Yes, this journey has finally ended. Like, the day has come. I never thought I would see it come, you know. Especially when you're told your tubes are blocked. That's it, and you
feel like it's the end of the world.
Yeah, you feel it's the end of the world because you're like, okay, success stories. I really saw one. At that time, I had not seen your success story, so I was like, what next? You know, you can't. No one can really relate what you're going through. So that time you just see and you're happy.
True.
Trying to that time I had even reached a point I could, when someone asked me, so when are you having a baby, I got to have an answer. You know, you prepare yourself for such comments and all that.
Like defense, yeah?
Yes, defense, yeah. You go defense mode. And there was like all those tears and all that.
It's come to an end.
And indeed, I felt like there is hope, regardless of the situation.
Sure.
There is hope.
There's hope. I wanted to know, like, how is your life now? How is your marriage life? How is your work life now after baby? How do you feel? How is your confidence level? So how is everything now? Well,
I can say before it was tough. Even marriage-wise, it's tough because you see now your money you had planned for other things to bump into.
Now getting a baby.
It's a strain.
It's expensive.
It's expensive, and then it's a strain. It's a strain because now actually I can't say I'm the same person before and after. I'm not the same person.
You're totally different.
I'm totally different. Right?
Your reasoning, the way you reason things, the way you do things.
Yes, the way I do things, even friends-wise, you know, things change. You're like, well, you can really gauge who's there for you, who's not there for you. And after, of course, things change too.
Yeah,
things change. Of course, there's those challenges of new moms and newborns, but you can't compare what you've
gone through.
And I came to really appreciate Happy after that whole journey. He didn't give me any stress. I remember at some point I'd even told him, go and look for another wife. But he didn't even want to hear that. It's like, you know what? We have to be the two of us, we'll stay the two of us. So you appreciate someone when you're really
in
down,
trouble.
In trouble. And I came to appreciate that you were there for me when I was down.
I'm telling you, your husband is such a gem because
Yeah.
So many people lose they lose their marriage.
Yes.
Because they can't either wait, or maybe they just feel it's too expensive, and they feel like I cannot do it. I can just go out there and get this baby. Why am I struggling with it? But I love the way your husband stood by your side, because most of the people who come to the clinic and they're doing the IVF procedure, you find like 70% of them, they are alone. They are married, yes, but they're doing the procedure alone. Why? Because the husband doesn't want to support them. So what are your parting shots? What would you tell our viewers? And we really, really appreciate you for even coming out. I'm always out there asking people to be ambassadors. I want people to come out, give us these stories, so that people can know it is possible.
My parting shots are, be encouraged. Be encouraged. With my experience, wherever you are, I just hope you will have that courage. Just know you're not alone. I came to realize this journey, we are many.
Yeah.
We are many.
True.
Regardless of the stigma, always have the courage, always have hope, regardless of the situation. Regardless of the situation. We have different types of fertility issues. We have different. So people talk about it, I understand the PCOS and all that.
Yes.
It's so much, but just be encouraged that if, for me, you know, the tubes, if I manage to conceive naturally, even after having blocked tubes, there's nothing that is impossible. Regardless of the situation, there's hope.
True.
There's hope. Be encouraged. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing your story. And I normally don't want to ask, but can I ask you?
Yes.
When is baby number 2 coming?
I like telling someone, even that time when I was trying.
Yes.
We know we have our own plans.
Yeah.
We have our own plans, but
God's
God's timing
is the best.
God's timing is the best.
I wanted to ask you something. Do you remember the pain and struggle you went through now that you have your baby?
I feel as if it was a dream. I feel as if
it it did not even happen to you.
Yes.
God makes you to forget all the pain.
I forgot completely. I'm like, did I go through all that? Did I go through all that?
I tell people, they think I'm giving them stories.
Yeah.
Now you forget.
You forget completely. You feel like, oh, I was dreaming all the time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You become a new person.
You become a new person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much for taking us through the whole thing, and now we are here. We have come to the end of our interview, and we really, really appreciate you guys for always being there to support us. Thank you for always following us. Please share this video. Please share to people so that they can get encouraged. Come out. We've asked you to just come out. Tell us where you are. We're going to come where you are so that you can be able to get your stories, and we'll be the next ambassadors for fertility. And we thank you for everything, and may God bless you, and happy New Year. Till we meet again, it's Karanja, Cecelia Karanja. Happy New Year.